I'm a huge
Yes,
Arnold fan, Commando, Terminator, Last Action Hero. There's so many good ones.
dude,
We
Conan the
some
Barbarian.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's when I initially started. We were talking about this the other day. That's when I very, very first started liking ferrets as a pet. Or no, sorry, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm getting that confused with Beastmaster growing up. Beastmaster, he had
Beastmaster,
ferrets.
yes, yes.
Beastmaster had ferrets. Sorry, Conan. I don't think Conan had, but we were talking because Kindergarten Cop. I was like, man, is that two Arnold movies with ferrets? He has a thing for ferrets. He likes ferrets, but ferrets are cool. They're cool pets.
Juan brought up ferrets the other day, and I'm like, are our ferrets really as stinky as everybody that owns them claims them to be? And Juan goes on this like 30-minute National Geographic tangent of how, oh, it's really just the pheromones. It's not the actual ferrets themselves.
So backstory explanation. Okay, I grew up in an apart in a I grew up in an apartment complex. We weren't allowed to have pets, and then it like basically my mom was like, if you want me to kind of like finesse the system, I believe it was because she was like the property manager or whatnot. She was like, if you want me to kind of finesse the system, then you need to tell me everything there is to know about ferrets. You need to know everything. So, dude, I wanted a ferret. I researched ferrets for probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Studied harder, study harder for that verbal test. Probably harder than anything I've ever studied for. So yes, I'm able to regurgitate a lot of information about ferrets that the average person does not know. Thanks,
Yeah, Juan
mom.
is like the Steve Irwin of ferrets over here. I was like, geez, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you in your ferret knowledge over here.
Because ferrets, they themselves don't stink. They have
Here we go.
I'm
Here we
just,
go.
it's it's the strength and the ammonia in the urine. It's anyway.
So you try to
Yeah,
say that it's if you clean out their cages, it's the smell won't be as bad, but it's
yeah.
still
So
a result of the ferret that is stinky. So ferrets are stinky.
well, whenever
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. See
No,
what
well, see,
happened was.
no, 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 no. Whenever I hear that, I'm thinking like, what I'm saying? People like, hey man, your dog is a stinky dog. Like that means your dog smells. Like not your dog. It's feces smell or it's urine smell. Of that's a obvious thing. I guess for me, of course it's gonna smell. So for people who don't know, black-footed ferrets, the ferret in the wild, they can actually, and well, all ferrets can actually spray as a defense mechanism, much like a skunk. So, and then you can't purchase a ferret unless it has their scent glands removed. It goes through Marshall Pet Products it's a big thing. But so they have to have their scent glands removed. But even still, it's such a strong, it's such a strong odor that whenever that process takes place, their urine is just extremely. It's a strong smell. It's very bad. It's very bad. But if you maintain the cleanliness in the cage, no smell, no smell, and they themselves don't. He's gone. No, give me that look. I'm just
So I'm not
saying. I'm
buying
just
it.
saying.
I mean, I get it, but I still think it's the ferret that smells.
See, okay, another example. My cat. Okay, if you don't clean out my cat's box like regularly, then the box is gonna smell. The cat itself doesn't smell. It's not walking around smelling like pee,
But it's
or it's not.
something created inside the cat. So it's from the cat. The smell is a result of having the cat.
It's. But if I keep that box clean, you'll never even know a cat lives here. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I feel you. I feel. Let us know what you guys
Yeah,
think. What do you think? Are ferrets,
yeah. What do you think?
or is it the owner that's terrible, that's stinky? Where do you fall on the spectrum here?
I'm gonna go with the owner personally. So vote owner. Side with
So anyway, um, so yeah, we're sick of all the
Great.
injustice talk. We're trying to get our minds off of things. the movie Running Man is on Amazon. So I'm like, dude, I've seen this movie once when I was like 8 years old. I remember it being classic, but let's go back and watch it. Anna's never seen it, of course. And absolutely terrible, awful movie, but awesome at the same time. You got your classic Arnold one-liners in there, but the movie starts and Arnold is working for the military and he's like a helicopter driver, pilot. And they're getting him to check on this riot that's going on where like it's set in the future and it's kind of like dystopian. I didn't remember that about it. And these people are like starving. So they're like rioting to get food. And Arnold's flying over to see like how many people there are. And there's like a huge mob of like thousands of people. And his commander gets on the headset and is like, yo, bro, take them out. And Arnold's like, nah, dude, they're not armed. They're just hungry. Like, I'm not about to kill all these people. Like, that would not be good. And so they tell the other people in the chopper, like, hey, you need to relieve him of his duty and kill all these people. So basically, he tries to put up a fight, and there's like 4 other guys in the chopper. So they end up knocking him out and then proceeding with the mission and wiping out all these people. So then he wakes up and he's like incarcerated in this future crazy prison system. And it was just crazy to me because like we put on this Schwarzenegger movie to get away from the social unrest, thinking that it's going to be like mindless action. And it turned out to have like a very deep meaning that they get to in the first minute of the movie, where it's like all about standing up for social justice. So it was just, I thought it was super interesting. And I wanted to just share that with everybody, like trying to escape the world with a movie, a Schwarzenegger movie of all things.
Yeah.
And then that happened.
1987, that movie. Great year. Great year.
Oh man, that was a great movie. Yeah, I've got some images here of that classic. So I mean, from there, it's got a very good, like, you know, Schwarzenegger basically, this game show is the most watched thing on TV, and it's like all like state controlled media. It's really, the movie was made in 87, but they did a really good job of portraying like how the media can control the narrative. And like they redid the video and the audio from his helicopter to make it look like he was like some psychopath that just went unhinged and murdered all of these innocent people. So then he becomes like the bad guy in their eyes, like he's just some crazy murderer. So then they put him on this game show, and basically the game show is like, this is classic Dynamo. But the game show is like, there's this like 400 square block part of this city that was hit by an earthquake. So it's all like ruined. And they try to let these, like they call them runners, I think. And like Schwarzenegger is the first one that gets injected into this like dead zone of the city. And they've got it set up with all of these different like traps. And it's kind of like American Gladiators, where they're trying to run through the assault almost, but it's in like an open city. And then they throw in these gladiators one at a time to come in and murder the people. So like the fans get to choose which gladiators are released at one time. And like Arnold ends up killing some of the gladiators, and then it becomes like this huge power play back and forth. The movie is awesome. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it if you're into those kind of movies. But it was just crazy. I mean, full of awesome Arnold one-liners, great characters. Jesse Ventura's in that movie as well. You know, I love me some Jesse the Body Ventura. But yeah, it was just like, you know, trying to escape the real world, and we just get hit with this, you know, Arnold sticking up for the little guy and fighting back against the system and trying to combat the media narrative and the media controlling things. And yeah, I was just kind of blown away, man.